We are facing a non-performing public officer who wants to pretend that he's performing and want all of us to get along performing with him. And he wants to write a Shakespearean tragedy where we will be given roles to play. So I'm supposed to be a fake opponent, for example. So pretending to be contesting against him without contesting. Then he will like me. I'll give you a lot of money. He already got someone to be impersonating as INEC chairman, who is not the INEC chairman. So before you think of charging Amukutan to call for rigging election, you first have to charge him to call for pretending to be INEC chairman when he's not. So if we want to be happy and there's no problem, we all have to pretend along with him that we are doing transition or election, which is just a prolonged, expensive coronation of one person. So if we don't want to do that, because I will not do that, I'm not very good in drama. So if we won't do that, then we should prepare to fight. So anyone who is not ready to fight should not participate in this transition. Parallel organs in every political party, parallel candidate in political party, parallel program for political parties, and he wants to score 10 million votes, if only 300,000 people are voting. You see, that's why we've been going from courtroom to courtroom. So my apologies. The thing I can say about what is happening to the transition program that we have is that we have to take a template from the transition from military rule. Whatever we did that made us to be able to get the military back to the barracks, we have to do twice that now. Don't be deceived. Don't be deceived that President Tinubu has different tailors that make his dresses from the one that made the uniforms of the soldiers. But his ideas are in the barracks. Let me summarize what we are facing. It's not complicated. We are facing a non-performing public officer who wants to pretend that he's performing and want all of us to get along performing with him. And he wants to write a Shakespearean tragedy where we will be given roles to play. So I'm supposed to be a fake opponent, for example. So pretending to be contesting against him without contesting. Then he will like me. I'll give you a lot of money. He already got someone to be impersonating as INEC chairman, who is not the INEC chairman. So before you think of charging Amukutan to call for rigging election, you first have to charge him to call for pretending to be INEC chairman when he's not. Because President Tinubu is Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President and Head of State. He's also the Chairman General of all political parties and is the Aspirant General of all political parties and Candidate General of all political parties. He's also the Chairman of INEC. And if you give him more room, he will want to be Chief Justice of Nigeria as well. So this consolidation of everything that the country stands for into a singularity. It's not just about greed, about making money, because you are the president, you're also the contractor. In fact, you are the contractor general of the federation, and you are the tax collector general of the federation. Now, so every political party is supposed to just play a role. So you tell INEC which party to register, which not to register. You can register those who didn't apply, you can refuse to register those who applied. You can disqualify a political party because they are overqualified. You also choose who will be the National Working Committee of every political party. Which letter INEC will take. It got to a point where INEC has to look left and right and whisper, before they collect a letter from you. So this is where we are. So if we want to be happy and there's no problem, we all have to pretend along with him that we are doing transition or election, which is just a prolonged, expensive coronation of one person. So if we don't want to do that, because I will not do that, I'm not very good in drama. So if we won't do that, then we should prepare to fight. So anyone who is not ready to fight should not participate in this transition. The transition is not for troublemakers, but it's for those who will mind their business, but they won't mind if you bring trouble to them, and they will stand and fight. Because even the barest minimum, we are no longer discussing about the economy, about welfare, about security. We are discussing even the right to participate. When I joined politics, I did not join politics for other things than just to fulfill Chapter 2 of the Constitution. Because I see public officers taking oath of office all the time, saying they will abide by Chapter 2 and they violate it right from the Eagle Square. And I thought maybe I should go here and remind Nigerians that we signed this social contract, we should be able to enforce it. However, it has become now a fight even for the soul of Nigeria to start with, because we are kind of slow walking or sleepwalking into a scenario in which we are a cross between Cameroon and Uganda with a taste of Zimbabwe. And we laugh at those people when it happens to them that there are no people there. But the one they are programming for us, they've tested it in Lagos, the most cosmopolitan and the most competitive political theater in Nigeria, if you know the history of Nigerian politics. So they master that, and they want to now have it writ large across the country. So it's not about political parties, differences, personalities, ethnicity, religion, all those regular staples in the transition program. This is about one man. I've been talking to APC members. Now I'm a very popular person in APC because I told them a few months ago when they were happy that governors were coming to their state, everybody coming to their state, people passed through EFCC straight to their place. That if you think President Tinubu is helping you to build your party into a one-party state, you are deceiving yourself. What he is doing is building a one-man rule. And at a stage, you will not need that your party anymore. And there's nothing that has worked in Nigerian democratic experience that they cannot distort. When Professor Emeawa wrote his papers, and I think Dr. Ogochukwuba was with them at that time, during the Third Republic transition. And Center for Democratic Studies said, oh, this is a very good idea. And later, Humphrey Nwosu implemented it, called Option A4. It was done because it was so basic that any person can stand behind the person they support. And then they will count. And then you can emerge as the winner of the election right in the queue there. But did anybody believe that President Tinubu can turn Option A4 into Option A fraud? Where you can score 11 million votes, even though all the people combined together are not up to 3 million. And somebody can be counting on the queue, 1, 2, 3, 4, and jump to 99. And so many other elliptical arithmetics. So what I'm bringing out of this is that everybody who is involved in this transition program has to examine the foundation. And I will say 5 things before I yield to my colleagues. One is that political parties have an opportunity now to become proper political parties, to maintain their autonomy and fight for their own independence, and make sure that only those who are serious belong to their political party, because it's not a case of just picking up a ticket, run for an office. If you are in politics, you have to fight. Second is that we've missed an opportunity to have a proper INEC. So, nothing, if you leave things the way they are, nothing good will come out of INEC. And the INEC people are pleading with us to come and rescue them. So, if you are thinking of cursing people out in INEC or fighting them, no. They are held hostage. So they want us to come and rescue them by we taking over the transition and making sure that every step is followed by the people and become a democratic vigilante. Third issue is that the media has to wake up. The fourth estate of the realm has to be the first estate now, because the first, second, and third estate are overwhelmed. So the media has to highlight all these abnormalities and let us have plurality of opinions and let us know the danger we are facing. The fourth component is that young people who are now being persuaded to become voters, that's not enough. They should become activists and make sure that we come out being close to 70% of the population, that all these abominations should not be done in our name. Fourth, or fifth, is that we must have ideology. And the first ideology is freedom. No matter what you believe, if you ask Dr. Eze Gozili and I to discuss economics, you won't go 5 minutes before we start having disagreements. So that is allowed. I'm leaning to the left and she's center. I think she's right of the center, from what I've read. But every citizen knows the meaning of freedom, where your vote counts, your voice counts, and the issues that pertain to the majority are the priorities. So those are the challenges. That is the only disagreement between us and President Tinubu, disagreement of the fact that you cannot put the whole country to sleep at the worship of one person. That if you want to win an election, you come and compete based on the same rules like every other person. And that you should let political parties be. And your power to control organs and institutions of government are powers you exercise on behalf of everybody. And you should not use them for your own personal aggrandizement. So this is the issue. And at the end of the day, I will ask MCE to monitor every organ involved in this transition. Nigerian police were used just last week to come and invade the National Secretariat of the SDP, like Gestapo. Said they had a court order to seal the place. We thought we had committed environmental violation or something, only for them to smuggle non-members, ex-members who are agents of the government into the building. And every day they keep promising us, we are coming to put you back. So this is the long and short of what is happening. And for every political party that is doing its own convention or primary, the government is using our money to do fake primaries and convention for every political party so that they can put that party in some form of controversy and duality. So in conclusion, we should not worry. This is the fight of our generation. It's our destiny to defeat Tinubu. It's our destiny to put an end to this idea that Nigeria can become the personal estate of one person. And once we